Hi guys, Jamie Humphries here for Six String Alliance, and today we are taking a look at Heroes by David Bowie. So today we're taking a look at something a little bit different, just trying to mix things up a little bit on the channel, do something for everyone, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the guitar parts from the David Bowie track Heroes, which was released in 1977. Now this track features two guitar players. We have Carlos Alomar on rhythm guitar, and we have King Crimson progressive rock legend Robert Fripp on lead guitar, who lends his hand to playing these much more ambient, ethereal kind of soundscape effects that you hear throughout the track. So before we get into the lead parts, let's take a little look at the rhythm guitar parts. Now, there are several rhythm parts going on. It's a little bit difficult to sort of decipher exactly what's going on, but we have this this chord part going on throughout, and it's based around the chords of D and G, and it sounds something like this. Here we go. It's a little bit hard to decipher, and a few bits jump in and out at you. So I sort of taken a chance with it and come up with what I think is going on. And also, even if it's not, it kind of makes for a cool part. Over that D major, we can definitely hear this major third. You're playing the fifth fret of the A and the fourth fret of the D. But also every so often you hear this low A note sort of popping out. So I kind of took it that this was possibly the kind of thing that was being played. So you're playing 5 on the E, 5 on the A, and 4 on the D. So it's like a D chord with the fifth in the bass, with D over A. And then we have a G5. Just 3 on the E, 5 on the A, and 5 on the D. And this is repeating. But on that G5, every so often you hear this high A notes popping out. And again, I'm not sure whether that's a chord overdub, but even so, it kind of makes for a nice part to get that G sus2 chord in. So you're playing 3 on the E, 5 on the A, and 7 on the D. So you get this. Okay, so on to the next section, which I guess is like a pre-chorus and into the chorus. So I'm going to play it for you first of all, and then we'll break it down. Here we go. So we have a C5 chord. It's 3 on the A and 5 on the D and 5 on the G. And then we're back to that sort of D major, major third interval. So that's 5 on the A and 4 on the D. If you want, you can add that 5 on the low E. Kind of adds a little bit more weight to it. So then we have an A minor chord. It's an E minor chord. And then back to our D. And then the chords become a lot more apparent. We have this big C5 power chord, G5 power chord, back to that driving eighth note. driving eighth note rhythm. Okay, so now let's take a look at our first riff, and this is the Carlos Alomar riff, and this is during the introduction of the track, and this also appears during the verse. So I'm going to play it for you first of all, and then we break it down. Here we go. So this riff can be heard during the introduction, and it's also featured throughout all of the verses, and it's often mistaken as a bass riff. It kicks off by sliding into 5 on the A string. Then we play 2 on the A and pull off to an open A. And then we're back up to 5 on the A. So let's have a listen to that. Then over the G chords, we have 5 on the A, 2 on the A, pull off to open A, play 3 on the 6th string. So far we have this. So then the riff over the G chord concludes with this little climbing figure. We're playing 3 on the E, to 2 on the A, 3 on the E, 3 on the A, 3 on the E, and then 4 on the A. So you get, and then back to 3 on the E string. So it's pedaling off that 3rd fret E. So. This riff continues through the verse. The only difference is at the final time before leading into what is essentially the pre-chorus and the chorus section, we don't do the climbing riff. So we just play this. Okay, now let's take a look at the main melodic theme that we hear running through the chorus section. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the kind of what I would consider to be the main part and then show you a couple of little variations. So let's check it out. Here we go. So here we're just playing a melodic theme. We started by pre-bending 7 up a semitone on the B string. We pull off to 5 on the B, so. Then we go back up to 7 on the B and then play 7 on the G. And repeat. One more time. Final time we finish off by playing the 7 on the D. So let's put all that together. Second time round, we have a slightly different figure to accommodate the chords of A minor and E minor. So there we're doing that pre-bend again on 7 up to 8 and releasing, pulling off to 5, then playing 7. And then we play the C note on the 5 of the G, do the figure again, down to that B note and the 4 on the G, and then resolve to that A note. We then had this short ascending figure on the D major pentatonic scale. That's sliding into 9 on the A, 7, 9 on the D. 7, 9 on the G, down to 7 on the G, and then we bend 9 up a semitone to 10, release that and pull off to 7 on the G, and then bend 9 up a whole tone. So there are a few variations on this little melody. For instance, the first time it's introduced over the A minor chord, instead of playing the C note, he actually sticks on that D note. So you get this. So it's just a slight suspension there because you've got that D note over the A minor. But whether or not he was meant to play that note, I don't know, but it just kind of sounds cool as a variation. And also on here where we have this, you know, sometimes there's little rundowns and other variations. Again, it's being improvised. And also something else to bear in mind is that this part was actually double tracked. So you've got two parts often sort of conflicting a little bit. So, you know, have a little bit of fun with that part. As long as you have that theme, then I think it's you know, it will work over playing over the track. Let's now take a look at an example of what Robert Fripp is playing on this track. There's this constant sort of ethereal soundscape of guitar that features from the beginning to end. It's just a continuous melody. Now, there are a lot of Mellotron style keyboards and other very unusual late 70s synthesis going on this track, but allegedly Robert Fripp recorded 3 different takes and he didn't listen to the takes when he layered them up. So when it came to the mixing process, you know, Tony Visconti pushed these 3 parts and sort of balanced them, and it made this beautifully haunting guitar part that we hear to this day. Now, when this was recorded, it's alleged that there were different points marked in the studio where Fripp was able to get these long, seamless, sustaining notes. Now, that's going to be pretty tricky for me to do sitting in my studio filming, so I've got my EBow out. And I'm going to be using, it's always good when you use an EBow to use the neck pickup and to turn the tone control down. I'm adding some delay in the post-production side of this video. So I'm using a TC2290 DT and I'm putting a nice large amount of reverb on it as opposed to the kind of tight, drier sound that you've heard for the rhythm parts. So I'm also using a volume pedal. I've got an Ernie Ball volume pedal down here on the floor to help me sort of fade the notes in nice and seamlessly. So let's have a look at an example of what Robert Fripp is playing. Okay, so as you can hear, you get these long kind of violin-like effects using the EBow. You can get the same kind of thing if you've got a sustainer pickup on your guitar. So what we're doing is we're playing the 14th fret G, we're fading that in with the volume pedal. We're sliding down there to the 11th fret, and then we're sliding all the way up to the 16th fret of the G, and then back to the 14th fret. There's a variation there. He does this thing where he goes from 11 up to the 16 and then back to 11 and then to the 14. And there's little variations that he plays throughout. So you get things like this. We get some lower register notes as well coming in. getting all this kind of feedback effect that adds to the sound of the whole part. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight to the parts that can be heard on the David Bowie track Heroes. Like I said, it's quite an improvised song, this. The parts are very improvised. There's not too much going on in terms of sections. It's basically, you have the verse, you have that kind of little pre-chorus and then the chorus section. So harmonically, it's pretty straightforward, and that's just repeating. And then we just have that verse riff, the little melodic figure during that pre-chorus and the chorus section. And then, of course, we have Robert Fripp's, beautifully haunting guitar part over the top. And the ideas that I've given you, it's just an introduction, if you like. If I chose to transcribe this in full, it would be a lot longer lesson than this one is, but hopefully that's given you enough information to enable you to play along and hopefully develop the ideas on your own. Okay, that's it from me. As ever, follow the link in the description where you can download the free tab and PDF to accompany this lesson, and I look forward to seeing you very soon for more videos. Bye for now.